Hey beautiful people, today we're here to talk about how do you measure success in your career. What if success isn't about your title, but it's about the value that you contribute to others? What if by still measuring your career by job titles, you're actually missing out on the real value? And what if success isn't about what you've done, but what you've made possible through influence and engagement of others? By the end of this video, I want you to be able to understand how promotions and titles are only a part of the equation. They are not the whole thing. I want you to be able to start thinking about how you are measuring your success by the impact and influence that you've had, and also really begin to recognize for yourself in a somewhat but not totally selfish way that how you align your values and what matters to you has a serious impact on your long-term success. I want to help you think about how to measure your long-term success beyond your salary. And the most important thing I want to help you do is help you make the mind shift from chasing external validation to really aligning with what matters to you and creating incredible internal validation. So you shift away from seeing success as something that you achieve based on what others think versus something that actually brings you joy, pleasure, reward, and a fulfilling life, and that you define it, design it, and evolve it with intention. So career success covers both objective and subjective measures, and it's really kind of up to you to be able to create that right balance for you. I came over to the US with, $500 and a degree, and I wanted to be a C-level executive because I thought that was cool. So I thought it would give me an opportunity to be able to have an impact, to be able to lead, and to be able to do cool things. And it did all of those things, and it was fantastic. I think my dogged pursuit of promotion put me in a position where I can talk about it a lot, and I can certainly help you all with it. But in hindsight, it might have been smarter and might have led to a more relaxed life if I had been able to get that right balance between the objective and the subjective measures and values, and being able to take more sort of autonomy and more wisdom around how it is that I designed things. Now, that's not saying that I didn't have a fantastic time. It's not saying I didn't learn a whole lot. I'm not saying I didn't do great things. I did all of those and hopefully continue to do them. But I think that the wisdom that I would love to be able to impart to you as to how you find that right balance for you is something that could be very valuable for you as you move forward in your career. If you look at every opportunity as a mountain that you need to ascend, then what you're doing is you're putting yourself in a position that whoever puts whatever in front of you, you look at it as a mountain that you need to get to the top of. You look at it as an opportunity to you is almost synonymous with this is a challenge, this is an opportunity, this is something I want to grab a hold of and take on. And you're not necessarily doing the work with yourself to be able to go, is that my mountain? Is that really a mountain that I actually want to climb? And it took me a long time into my career to be able to make that differentiation and say, people are putting challenges in front of me. I'm up for them. Of course I'm up for them. I'm ambitious. I want to get promoted. I want to be able to I want to earn more money. I want to be quote unquote successful. But rarely in there did I go, do I really want that for me? Is that going to bring me joy? Is that going to bring me pleasure? Is that going to express my best abilities and my best skills? So really encourage you to make sure that you're not climbing every mountain that's stuck in front of you, and that you are actually doing that balance between what you love, what you're good at, and what opportunities present themselves. So there's a level of intentional selfishness, and I believe healthy, useful, valuable selfishness in there that I encourage you to build for yourself, which is your ability to be able to be really discerning about the type of projects you take on, the type of work that you do, the areas where you push yourself, and the areas where you dedicate yourself to lifelong learning, as we discussed in another video. So that balance in terms of what matters to you, what you're naturally great at, what you derive joy from, and what other people find valuable, we're seeking to find that balance in a way that allows us to be able to live lives with a certain amount of ease and a certain amount of pleasure, and certainly a certain amount of joy. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do big pushes and big sprints, because it's kind of fun to see how far you can go and how fast you can go and how quickly you can learn and how much you can make happen. And then you sort of know your own abilities and you can kind of flex in and out of those as you need to, but certainly do it in a way that is discerning and in alignment with what matters to you and what you find valuable and what brings you joy. Part of that is the process of aligning your career goals with your personal goals. So I'm working with someone at the moment who I'm in total admiration of. So he's a cross-country skier and he's also runs his own business practice. It's around building Kajabi capability to deliver online programs for people. So he's helping me build up my Kajabi so that I can better serve you all. But what he's doing is he lives part of the time in 6 months of the year in Europe and 6 months of the year in Canada. And he goes skiing and cross-country skiing there on a regular basis. So he'll drop in, I'll work with him for a day or two, and then he'll disappear for a day or two. And I'll know that he's going to disappear. It's not like he's not being transparent about it. But he's created this life for himself where he has an online business that he can run from anywhere in the world. And he also has the ability to be able to pursue something that he is incredibly passionate about. That fuels his passion for his work, which he's obviously passionate about as well. But I love the balance that he's managed to create in his life. And who knows how long that'll last for, in terms of life happens and other things happen and, you know, family and houses and children and all that kind of stuff. But for now, what he's doing is he's doing this wonderful life that is a great balance of both his very deep personal satisfaction and also his career progression and his personal satisfaction with his work. So I think that balance is something that's really worth looking at and paying attention to. I talked more extensively in another video about lifelong learning and continuous learning. And I just want to emphasize in here, and you can go back to the other video, but just want to emphasize in here that your ability to be able to do lifelong learning is absolutely critical to your career success and also your joy and pleasure in your work and your sense of accomplishment and your sense of mastery. What I would absolutely encourage you to do in here is to make sure that you're doing, again, a right balance between where am I diving deep, what am I deeply paying attention to, what am I really learning and applying myself to and going the extra mile on, and then am I doing something similar in regards to the rest of my life, in terms of hobbies, in terms of looking after children, in terms of building family and community. And it's really finding that right balance, because what I found over time is that they actually feed each other incredibly effectively. There's one simple exercise I do in a workshop, which is to get people to start actually making offers to each other, because it's a practice that we need to learn how to do the same way as we would learn a musical instrument or a sport, and it's something you just need to get into the habit of doing. And so what I say to people is, you don't have to do it with each other as a team at work. You can start doing it at home. And actually, I'd like you to start doing it at home so that you can begin to practice it at home and then bring it back into your work. So I think that work-life balance, or that work-life transition, is fading fast. And I think your ability to be able to do what you love in your personal life and also do what you love at work are things that actually fuel each other, because what you're doing in both cases is you're pursuing a level of mastery, and the practices that you build in one area are the same practices that you exercise in another, and vice versa. I'd be remiss if I didn't talk a little bit about building your professional networks. When we talked about it in my previous video, what we did was we looked at how your pursuit of your own mastery allows you to be able to build your personal and professional networks. Same thing here. If you're really interested in building a very custom version of success for yourself, which I absolutely would encourage you to do, then your ability to be able to build relationships with other people based on what floats your boat, what you're excited about, what you love, what they also love, and build those shared networks based on passion and commitment and shared interest will actually keep you going for the rest of your life, will allow you to be able to bring joy to your work, will allow you to be able to dive deeper in your work, and will allow you to be able to bring more to other people that you work with. So as you think about your long-term success in your career and how you measure that, you're also measuring it in part based on the community that you're a member of, the network of people that you engage with around what it is that you care about. And you probably already have examples of that in your personal life. I invite you to really think about how that transitions into your work life as well, so that work becomes something that sustains you and brings you joy in the same way your personal outside of work hobbies and habits do too. As you go through this process, I really encourage you to take the promotion readiness assessment. There are questions in there that look to the balance that you're doing between your private life and your work life. And I think they're all your life, so obviously they need to balance each other together. I would encourage you to take that assessment. There's a link down in the comments below, and it's also getpromotedassessment.com. Let me know how it goes for you. Drop some comments below as to how you're finding that balance in your life and how you're making sure that you're the person who determines what success means for you. I wish you the very best of luck with it. And remember, it's something that matures over time, and absolutely go for it.